What's up, guys? So it is the Black Math here, and I'm going to be talking about an amazing movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, let me just tell you real quick before we get into this. This movie was the best Spider-Man movie I have ever seen in my life. That is a huge statement, especially because I really never really liked the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I was always a super fan of the Amazing Spider-Man films and honestly wished that they continued on with a third film. And of course, we all have a special place in our heart for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. But this film, I have to say it again, have to reiterate, this film was the best Spider-Man film I have ever seen. And there are very key reasons why. Okay? First and foremost, cameos. The other Spider-Man films didn't really have the level of cameos. Obviously, they had villains, but they weren't really tying in other characters that could have been present in New York the way that this film did. This film had Punisher, and spoiler alert, stop now if you have not watched the film and go back from which you came and watch it before watching this video. Otherwise, you'll be very upset. In three, two, one. Jean Grey was actually who Sadie Sink was playing. Dun, dun, dun. And on top of that, Jean Grey was also a villain in this movie. But in typical Disney fashion, they made her a misunderstood villain instead of making her pure evil. In fact, she wasn't really evil at all, although she did some unspeakable things to our friendly neighborhood Spider Man. Now, I will say this. Rating wise, I'm just going to throw it out there 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. And the reason the movie gets such a high rating, it had great cameos. It had Jean Grey. It had Punisher in it. It had the Hulk in it. Not this crap Hulk that we've been getting for the past decade. I mean the actual Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. Full-fledged rage monster mode, ready to destroy everything. That's what we got. And we got it for all of maybe 5 beautiful minutes. Beautiful minutes. And they meant something. They weren't a waste. It wasn't a tool. They didn't use Hulk as some sort of plot device to show how powerful that Spider-Man was. In fact, they used Hulk to show that the Hulk is the most powerful being that was at least in this film. And Peter knew that. And moving in, he knew that walking into this, and he was terrified. And he was even more terrified when he got to be on the punching end of this behemoth of a Hulk. Because let's just talk about the fact that this guy was like 15 feet tall. Okay, we're used to seeing like a 7, 8 foot tall Hulk. No, this guy was a giant, and he was ripped, and he was angry. He was mad, and that's okay. That's okay because that's what the fans wanted, right? That's certainly what I wanted. And I did not want Spider-Man to win his wins. I didn't want Spider-Man to win even by, well, definitely didn't want him to just use his newfound abilities and strength and whatever and just somehow knock the Hulk out. And the trailer was kind of alluding to the fact that that could happen. I'm glad that they did that. It brought people out that were curious. That's not what happened, though. Not what happened. Not even a little bit. If you're a Hulk fan, if you're a true fan of the Incredible Hulk, this movie redeemed so much. This is just a start, of course, but if they keep going with this trajectory of the Hulk, Hulk fans are going to be eating for a very long time. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to watch this movie once a year just so that I can see that scene and relive it all over again because it was that freaking good. Now I have to go back to the movie theater. I have to. I have to see this thing. And I have to analyze every single detail that I probably missed. Guys, I have to. I'm going to do that as soon as possible so that I can come back with a full-fledged video listing out all of the different cameos, any little things that I spotted in the background so that we can talk about it. But right now, I just need you to understand the plot. And I need you to understand that for the most part, I was right. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I was right. Okay, I listed out the plot. I said how I thought it was going to go. I said that I felt like Jean Grey was going to be this character that had a reason, whether or not she was mind controlled. I felt like, Mr. Negative might be in the film and he might be coercing her in some way, shape, or form. They took a different route. They actually inserted a new character into this film, gave her a sister that was captured because the sister shared the same abilities that she did, and she simply was looking for her sister by any means necessary, guys. So she did some pretty messed up things. She wasn't killing anyone, but she certainly could have, because she was trying to find answers. She was trying to find her sister. All right, Spider-Man getting in the way of that meant that he had to deal with quite a bit of what she threw at him in this movie. I'm not gonna say everything right here. I want you to go watch it. I want you to go enjoy it. Okay. Now, the Punisher, he kind of played this almost fatherly role for Peter, because he was forcing Peter to face himself. And I think that that was perfect, having the Punisher be the character to do that, because the Punisher has literally had to do that on his own. If we watch all of the series, Daredevil, and everything that included the Punisher, we've had to see Frank Castle go from being a loving family man who had moved past his dark past and just wanted to be with his family, just love on them, right? He went from being that to having his family violently taken from him, having his life altered that night, and waking up to realize that they were gone forever. He had no one, and all he had was the thoughts of vengeance. And he got his vengeance. He punished everyone that was responsible. And after that, he realized the rage didn't go away. He had to face the monster that he became in order to get revenge for his family's murder. And when he faced that monster, it won for a little while. It won. But by building relationships with people that truly cared about him, he was able to see his humanity once again and come back from that. And obviously, he wasn't completely changed. This movie actually helped to develop his character even more because of something that he ended up doing to Spider-Man, and feeling very remorseful about. But by the end of the film, we finally got to see a version of Frank that was happy, y'all. We got to see a version of Frank that was happy and celebrating what he thought was a clear victory for once, just a victory without any loss, just a straight up victory. And I was happy to see it. I was happy to see it. And he was pushing Spider-Man forward, saying, "Yeah, I believe in you now. I believe in you, kid. Go do what you believe you can do, because I have faith in you and I'm going to back you up now." And now that's one of New York City's ground level heroes backing him. And I think that that's going to be one of many. We already know that Daredevil was backing Spider. We already know. Okay, he legally represented Spider-Man in uh, in Spider-Man's third film. Okay, but this version is going to be even better, y'all. It's going to be even better. Okay, because now he's gonna have the backing of Daredevil. He's gonna have the backing of the Punisher. I didn't like the She-Hulk show, but they have a way of maybe redeeming her, bringing her back, and backing Spider-Man up as well. We have to think about Avengers Doomsday. We have to think about Avengers Secret War, and how all of these heroes developing and meeting one another now and building some level of a relationship would be a clear tie-in for them later, when Doctor Doom comes down and tells everyone that the world is about to end unless they do something about it. Okay? And that's I'm understanding now what some of the things could be. So I watched the Avengers Doomsday trailer, and it was clear that in the Fantastic Four team, there was somebody that probably was cut out in post, somebody that should be standing there because of the space that was left there. Okay, and I'm gonna show it on the screen here. I'm gonna show the image here, a little circle. Yeah, there was somebody that looks like they could be there. I think now, because of the post credit scene, that the person that could be there is Spider-Man, not Tom Holland. No, no, a different Spider-Man, right there with them, coming from their universe. If not Doctor Doom, but I doubt it's Doctor Doom, because Doctor Doom is supposed to be the enemy that they face up against, right? I think it could be Spider-Man. I don't think the rumors are true about Spider-Man dying early in the film. He might die in the film for sure, but not early. But I want to keep this about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay? There were some other things besides the Hulk being just the most amazing Hulk that I've seen on the big screen since 2008. I love the fact that they played with the audience a little bit. They made us think that if Peter just kissed MJ like a Disney princess movie, that she would magically remember, like Sleeping Beauty, and everything would just be fine. Everything would go back to the way it was. They played with us, they toyed with us, they pulled at our heartstrings. We were all upset when that happened, but I'm happy for it. I'm happy they didn't go with that route, even though it was emotional, it was great acting. And if they had gone with that route, I would have tolerated it, okay? But I'm happy they pulled back and said, nope, that's not what we're doing. Not at all. What they instead did was they made MJ pull back. They made her pull back and ask the right questions. Why did you not come back the way you said you would? Why are you showing me this right now? Why are you telling me this right now? And what do you want me to do about it? The magic worked. I don't know who you are. I don't know you. So I certainly can't say I love you. Okay? Can't say that. And I don't know what that means. And that was cool, having her not know what it meant, but also having her stay true to who she was as a person. We know this version of Mary Jane to be an absolute, just, she's a pure hearted, beautiful person, okay? Because she is very accepting and forgiving, and we've seen that through and through from the beginning of her in the series. She just wants honesty. She really doesn't care what the truth is, she just wants the truth. She doesn't care if you have a nasty past or if you're a little ugly on the inside. She just wants to see it. And then she can do with that what she pleases. And when she saw that Peter wasn't ugly on the inside, he was a really good person, and he was hiding what he was hiding to protect her. Even though she didn't love him, she knew that he was a friend, or someone that could be a friend again. And so she let him in. She brought him back to Ned so that he could experience being with his friends once again and open the door for that relationship to start to bud, which we got to see at the end of the film. But there was something really clear there, something surprising, okay? Not only did Ned recognize Peter after a really cool handshake scene, it seemed like he remembered Peter, really remembered him. And it made me think about how Ned does have magical abilities. Okay, we've seen that. We saw that in No Way Home. What if interacting with Peter, what if that handshake scene jogged his memory and the magical ability, him being magic sensitive, brought everything back? What would that mean? Well, we know that Ned doesn't hate Peter. We know he actually loves Spider-Man, and he's wanted to thank Spider-Man for all the time that Spider-Man has saved him in this film. We know that. So Ned is a friend. He's not going to be a villain, guys. We're not going to see like a hobgoblin version of Ned. Honestly, I didn't want to see that. I hope nobody else did. We're not going to see that. If anything, we may see Ned become a hero in damn self because of everything he knows now. He's leveled up. He's leveled up, guys. All right. There's just so much to do here. There's so many paths that they can take now because of the choices they made, and I'm happy with it. So happy with it. Damage control, evil. We all knew they were evil. They got exposed, and they're probably over with for now. But they're gonna come back with a vengeance for sure. Because organizations like Damage Control are the type of organizations that are against the X-Men and people with powers. And as long as organizations like Damage Control exist, there there's going to be some sort of enemy of these superpowered beings outside of their villains, their main villains. They're going to have to deal with society, a group in society that also hates them and wants to control them and has influence, guys, has serious influence. We're going to see that again, I'm sure of it. Now, one thing they didn't add Venom. They didn't add Venom in this film at all. Not even a little bit. No hints to it. Nothing like that. And honestly, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they did not add Venom to this film. It would have taken away from everything that they were building up with Mary Jane, and probably added just way too many plot points. Instead, Peter and his abilities are coming from him. It's coming from a metamorphosis in him. We've seen that Spider-Man, when he undergoes serious levels of stress, emotional distress, and things like that, his powers can change. So his powers have evolved because of everything he's gone through, and he's growing into a new version of Spider-Man, a better version of Spider-Man. Okay? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I missed? Hmm. Punisher developed. Ah, yes. In my initial video, I said Peter was gonna die. It was a high likelihood that Peter was gonna die, but not death in the way that people think, where oh his physical body is dead, but more so that Spider-Man is going to die and undergo a rebirth, and that rebirth is going to catapult him down the line. It's going to catapult him into the future as a different version of Spider-Man that's more useful to the Avengers and more useful to the plot of whatever movie is to come as a whole. And that's exactly what they did. That is exactly what they did. Peter was shot. He was shot. He should have died. But because of the connection he made with Mary Jane, no, with Jean Grey, sorry, because of the connection that he made with Jean Grey, allowing her into his mind so that she could see why he is as good as he is and give her hope that she could be good too. She saved him. She stayed with him and mended him back to health until he came out of his coma. And because of that, we know her character is on the right path now. She's on the road to healing and becoming a hero instead of being a villain. Okay? Everything about this film was perfect. Everything. The only reason it gets a 9 out of 10, and this seems a little nitpicky for me, but the camera. It just seemed like when he was swinging through the city, it wasn't crisp. The lens that they chose to use, it was very blurry on the edges, and when it came to motion, it was a lot of blur. And for me, it was a bit disorienting watching him swing, which some people may like. I mean, I definitely understand it being disorienting if you're trying to follow Spider-Man swing, right? But I also wanted to get my money's worth in that sense, where I wanted to come to the theater and really see him swing through the city and really get that crisp feeling of him moving and just feel like I was just watching it, just enjoying full force, kind of like we did with, the Spider-Man films, the Raimi films, and then also the Andrew Garfield films. When they were web swinging, it was a different feel. Of what you didn't get that blur effect, and it was a pleasure for me to watch them swing. Even slowing down certain parts and really getting it like that full just picture, right? We didn't get all of that in this movie. There was a lot of like motion blur. It just bothered me. It made it hard to really visualize or see everything that's happening. But that was my only real gripe with the film. That was it. I love the choreography, beautiful work. I love the attachment to the comics. I love that the people on this project definitely had passion for it. They cared about it, and they cared about the characters just as much as they cared about just their acting. They wanted to make a movie that the fans were going to enjoy, that the fans were going to accept. That is a big step for Disney because Disney has been failing miserably in the past few years. This is a huge step for them. And if they keep going this way, the people are going to come out again. People are going to come out again. People are going to spend their money again because they're going to feel like they're finally being seen and the thing that they've enjoyed is finally being acknowledged, accepted, and willingly put out for them to view and enjoy. Okay? Disney, I really had some ill feelings in the past years, but right now I feel great. And if you keep going this way, I promise you, all of us are coming. We're coming out on the roads. That movie is But assuming you watch the movie, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Tell me what you think about the movie in the comments. Tell me if you agree with what I'm talking about with the trajectory of Spider-Man is going to be the character we see in Avengers Doomsday. Jean Grey maybe is also going to make that appearance in Avengers Doomsday. We're going to get tie-ins from other characters like Daredevil and She-Hulk down the road to really build this universe, all right? Because we have a lot of opportunity to do that, in my opinion. Just tell me what you think, guys. Thanks again for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, definitely subscribe. Hit the bell over there, here, one of those spots. Hit that bell, all right? And, just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Later.